Hi, it's Anthony from Learn to Dance. I'm going to take you on a tutorial of the Gather software that we've set up to allow us to have some more social interactions at our events. So you get sent a link to the room, as we call it. You either enter that or you can click the link and you'll be taken then to this software called Gather.town. First things first, it'll ask you, do you want to use your microphone? If it's the first time you're using it, it'll ask this. If you've used it before, it may not ask you every time. But we're going to allow and allow. Now, you'll then start to see things popping up. Give it a second, wait for everything to come through. Hello, how are you doing? We're going to enter names. Now, again, if it's just yourself, enter just your own name. If you're with your partner, which Emma will be with me later on, then we can enter their name as well, so everyone knows who they're walking up to. We'll go just for Anthony at the moment. Obviously, in theory, if all these look okay and all this is okay, they shouldn't have to change anything here. But if you know, for example, I'm using headphones, then I can change certain things on here. I won't change the mic to the headphones because I'm using that to talk to you right now. Okay, so click join the gathering. We get a little tutorial that pops up. It's a little bit, people tend to skip it, so I'm going to talk you through what it says rather than just expect to read it. But the important things are, you'll start off over on this right hand side here on this purple bar, you can see there. That's your little avatar, as we call it. The arrow keys on your keyboard allow you to then move around, walk around, you know, up, down, left, right. You can, however, also use the letter W to go up, letter S to go down, the A to go left, and the D to go right. So if you look at your WASD, they're in the same sort of shaping as your arrow keys. Now, things you might want to do when you first come in, you can change your character. So if you click down here, so that will skip the tutorial here, I'll talk you through it all. You can change your character down here, choose different people, whatever works for you. Find something that shouts out to you. Let's go with this person, shall we? Maybe change different options. Okay, we'll go with this, although I have shaved recently, so less of a beard than I would have normally. Hit the X to close that screen. If you've forgotten to change your name or you want to change it, you can click on here. This little window comes up. Now, click here, edit to change your name. If you click the add text status, what this does, let's say recording a video, you'll see that it doesn't actually change my name, it just puts a message over here on the left hand side underneath there. So anyone in the room then will see that and they look in the little list. They might go, okay, he's recording a video, or you know, or you could say obviously do not disturb. Oh, hang on, I've just you could say do not disturb, for example, and then people know to leave you alone and that kind of thing. Or you can press the X to get rid of it. To change your name, click the edit. You change your name in here, anything you want to. You see it changes straight away on this left hand side, and we'll change it back to Anthony for now. You'll notice an Anthony 2, we'll talk about that in a second. Again, if you've got any of your settings wrong for camera and microphone, you can change them on here. If you find that your connection's a bit slow, you can always try taking off smooth movement. I'd leave the idle muting on, because that basically means that if you step away from the computer, or rather, if you go away from the Gather tab, either to another window or a different app, it mutes your camera and your video automatically turns off as well. I don't have the HD quality turned on. You could if you like, but again, it's probably going to end up just slowing things down a little bit for you. And I think for what we're using it for, the quality will be more than sufficient. You don't really need to worry about these other things at the moment, but if you get caught up anyway, you can always click this respawn. It'll take you back to the beginning purple. Sign in you don't need to do unless you want to use the actual software for your own purposes. Otherwise, using our links, you can just log in as it is. Once you change that, you can press the X up there, or worst case scenario, you can press the cog over here if you can't find the X, because as you scroll down that page, you'll see the X disappears from up here. So you can either scroll back up, there's the X, or you can click the cog, turn that off. Don't worry about these other options. The builds you won't have access to, because that's how we can create the space. The calendar, again, we haven't got events linked to this, but if we had this linked to a calendar, you could see different things coming up. We might play with that at some point. And chat allows you to either broadcast a message to people nearby, or you can find everyone, or again, particular people. You can also, if you're on the participants list, if you click on someone's name, you can also send them a direct message on here, which won't show up on other people's displays. Other than that, This is then our recreation of the Wessex ballroom in some respects. I mean, you know, the heart balloons are my own addition. If you zoom out, so you can go up to here if you're in Chrome, for example, and zoom out, you'll then start to see a bit more of the space that we're looking at. So you can see we've got up in the top right is what we call our bar area. We've got some seating areas around here. You'll see Anthony too is sat down on a couch. I'm greyed out at the moment. I'll explain what that means in a second. Here is our main ballroom, the dance floor. We've got some tables and chairs up here. We've got what we call the dance music playlist area, and again I'll talk you through all this in a second. There are some, I should walk away over here. Actually, I'll zoom out a bit quicker. We've got some videos over here that you can stand and look at. So a couple of lesson videos for solo dancers, if you dance with a partner, or if you want to learn how to do sequence for small spaces. And then there's our stage area, which is for our teachers to get up onto and make announcements if they need to. And again, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I'll go back to the... I tend to walk around at 50%. I've got quite good eyesight. You can obviously go in various... I'm using the keyboard shortcut here, but obviously you can go into here and make various adjustments to find a size that works well for you, where you can see the names of people that are walking around as you go. We'll get on. We'll stick with 67% for now. Okay, so as I say, we can use the arrow keys to move around. If you see things that light up, such as this bulletin board, you'll see down here it says press X to see what's pinned on the board. You press the X button on your keyboard and you'll get to then see what that interaction is. Here you'll see this particular one is a very cheeky advert for our virtual dance break coming up next month, where we'll be using this software intermingled with our booking software to actually have workshops. So workshops won't take place in this software, but this will be where all the social events take place. So you can go through that, read some more details about it, and there's even a very handy bit about how you can book directly on our website. We recommend it if you'd like to come along and join us for that one. It's a jive weekend. You can press the X up in the top corner to get rid of any window like that. In terms of interacting with someone, what tends to happen is, I'll show you first of all the private spaces option, because I've already got someone sat down there. You'll notice nothing happens as I walk around this couch. But if I sit on the couch, what we'll suddenly see is a second window start to pop up here. Now, because I've muted the microphone, this is actually my second recording of this video. The first one I did, I forgot to mute the microphone, and all you got was me talking, and then an echo a couple of seconds later of the exact same conversation. It's quite distracting. I'll very briefly unmute so you can see what happens. So if they're not muted, I'll say something, that'll hear it, it'll come back. We'll go around, but I'll just mute again. So if it's too confusing. Anyway, I'll say something. So when you're sat down next to someone, it'll come back. You have a conversation with just that person. Now, a couple of different areas in this space where that happens. With the couches, as you can see down here, there's only space for two people to sit side by side. If I move off the couch, straight away, the other person disappears, and I can't see them at all, and they can't see or hear me either. Now, that's a two-person area of the couch. We've got the bar over here, where you can see all of this highlighted area. So anyone stood either behind the bar or stand up at the bar can have a group conversation. So anyone at the bar can see anyone else in a group. So that's always an option if you want to. Again, we've got chairs and tables down here, and you'll see again the highlighted area. So anyone sat on the 4 chairs can interact with anyone else at the same table, but you won't hear what's going on the table next to you. And then the other thing is, if you're actually just out in the wild, shall we say, if someone gets within 5 spaces of you, you'll start to see up here then just the inkling of someone's approaching me. This could be the chance, if you're walking up to someone, you're not sure if you know them or not, or you thought they were someone they weren't. This is your chance to work out and sort of move away if you've realised it's not the right person. As they move towards you, it starts to solidify, so you can then have a conversation. Hey, how are you? How are you? That kind of thing. It's quite confusing when you talk to yourself, obviously. One of the things that can be quite useful, so if I move me version 2 away, is, and I'd actually probably recommend this setting, if you click down here, you've got this option for turn on quiet mode. Now there is a shortcut. You can press the Control key or the Mac key and press the letter U, but if you click on Turn on Quiet Mode, you'll see that my icon down here is turned into a little red dot, and there's a little red dot by me, and that means, as it says here on the screen, it basically means people have to be stood right beside you to have a conversation with you. So now I've turned Quiet Mode on, you can see that I can't actually see Anthony 2's information. As they move closer, suddenly they pop up. Okay, so that can be quite useful in a particularly busy, crowded room. If you've got lots of people pop up at the screen, turn the quiet mode on, and it makes the conversations much more well, yeah, obviously it's just the two of you or a small group of people. You know, you can have 8 people around you that you can be involved in conversations with. And it's simply a case of click here, turn it on, turn it off. Obviously, if I turn it off, you'll see that suddenly the other person starts popping back up again because I've widened my search for people. Now, what you'll find though is obviously if someone starts to move around and walk away, you lose them in conversation. If you were trying to keep, if they were trying to show you around, for example, and want to keep conversation, what you can do is over here, click on them, and 2 things can happen. If you've just lost someone, let's say you went away from the computer, came back again, oh, where was that person I was talking to? You can locate them on the map down here. Click locate, line pops up. Obviously at the moment it's a straight line. If they start to move away, it starts to give you an idea of how you might catch up with them. Okay, the other thing that you can do is if I stop locating, I can also click follow. Now follow means what it says. I then go up and find that person. As they move around, I stay with them and we can continue to have this conversation even though they're saying to me, oh, by the way, have you seen, here's where you go to find the dance floor. So someone says, why don't you follow me? I would recommend click on the link follow and then allowing the computer to follow them around. You can either click stop following them to stop following them or use your arrow keys to move away. So that's how you can interact with people. Other things we've got the dance music playlist. So you move on to this space and you'll see a small little video pops up in the bottom corner. Now a couple of things can happen. If you click the big arrow in the center, and even here you can ignore these 2 arrows, if you click the big arrow, it pops up on your entire screen as an option to then click play. Okay, so you're now interacting with it. You can also do it by pressing the X key on your keyboard. If you then click play, then you'll start to have our actual social dance playlist. Okay, a little intro gives you a list of the dances. So our first 2 waltzes go between the start of the video and 5 minutes. So again, on here you haven't got the option to actually skip ahead to other tracks, albeit a video on our YouTube channel you will. I'll just do that so you can hear me over the music. But yeah, so you haven't got the option here to skip forward and back. That is one drawback to it, but it does give you the option of listen to a variety of pieces of music that you can then dance to from there. You can pause it and that also then stops it, and then you can close it. You actually have access to some of our other videos as well, but you'll find they won't actually come up with anything from there. Close that, goes down here. You can play it down here, and so you can have the music playing anywhere, as long as you stay on this area here with the footsteps, the music can stay playing. If anyone moves onto the area as well, you'll see them start to pop up, but you'll still be hearing the music, so you might find that a bit distracting because they won't necessarily have the music playing. So you might then want to mute it or pause it down here. Okay. Now, other things we have over here are a couple of lesson videos. So you walk over to the lesson video, you'll see it highlight, and again you can either play the video down here, or again if you press the X key, you'll get the video in full screen, and you can then have some lessons if you want to. There's some solo dancing, and there are partner ones as well. I'm going to stop that. And again, the little X key up here button closes that. The last thing then is depending on where you are.
Emma's behind the camera. Hiya.
Let's go over here, and let's take Anthony Mark II. Let's check that's paused. There you go. Take Anthony Mark II up onto the stage so that they can go on to what we call the spotlight. Now what I'm going to do is just mute my microphone down here purely because I'm going to unmute the other Anthony, and it just gets a bit confusing as I found the past. So mute me. You'll still hear me because it's on here, but as I then bring the other Anthony on and unmute them, they will then be able to provide an announcement to anyone in the room. So right now, I'm announcing to everyone, regardless of conversation status, regardless of listening to music. If I play the music down here,
they will then be able to provide an announcement to anyone
the person
in
on the
room.
stage
So right now,
talking over
I'm announcing
everything
to
else.
everyone,
Okay.
regardless of conversation status,
I'm
regardless of
gonna
listening
stop
to the music. If I play the music down here for me,
Take them off the spotlight and they
you'll still hear the person on the stage talking over everything else. Okay.
And other than that, hopefully that should explain most things. If you then, when you're then finished and you want to, oh, sorry, one other thing. Yeah, when you finish and want to leave, you can just press the X button in the top corner to close, and that's it. You're out and you're done. Over on this side, so you've got your settings. The build, I can't remember if I said this or not already because I've already recorded one of these videos, but the build won't do anything for yourselves because you haven't got the admin rights that we've got, but you will still see it. The calendar, again, if we've got a calendar event set up, it will do it. And the chats then are on here nearby to everyone or to particular people. Or again, you can click the name. I think I have already said this, but I'll do it again anyway. You click their names to send them a direct chat on here as well. Other than that, I think hopefully that is everything sorted and explained. But any questions, let us know, and hopefully we can welcome you into one of our social events and go from there. Thank you very much.